welcome back to DT Performance. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about the coil relocation on my LSS 10 swap. I'm going to share with you some other things I've been working on. I've been gone for a little while, been on the road working, but I'm back in the shop getting some things done. So let's go over here to the table and look at some of the brackets, and then I'll show you the other things we've got done on the truck. So I purchased these coil brackets on Amazon. They were pretty inexpensive compared to some of the other brackets that you can buy. But I have the D585 truck coils on my LM7 that's in the S10. And everything was great. These fit great. Everything was looking good. But as you guys know, putting an S10 in, you're going to run into some barriers, some tight clearances and things like that. So I ran into that when I got my engine set exactly where I wanted it. I've got the transmission in it now. And when I slid the engine back and over a little bit, this last coil on the passenger side got into my heater box. So what I did, I'll get a Sharpie here and kind of show you. I took and I cut this bracket down and I made it real smooth and made it look like it came like that. And then I took this piece off, flipped it over, and welded it to this side. Of course, I had to drill a hole here, and basically what I did is I moved this coil over like this. I took a 5/32 drill bit, and you'll have to get an M4 tap because that's the size bolts that comes with these brackets. They're M4. I got an M4 tap. I tapped a hole here. I took this piece, flipped it over here, and lined it up to where this bolt hole would line up. And that gave me the clearance I need. Now the coil is a little turned, and it looks a little sketchy, but it works. It serves its purpose great. So I'll take you over here to the truck. I'll show you some things that I've got done. I try to do things that everybody at home has the tools to do. Now I do have a spool gun aluminum welder, and I welded this on. But for those of you that don't have a welder, you could probably get by with using these. They are aluminum brazing rods. I got these at my local Tractor Supply, and basically it's just like brazing. You just get a handheld torch and heat it up and melt it together. And this is non-structural, so I wouldn't be too concerned with doing that. I did get my transmission in. As I said, I sent my transmission off to PTC in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. They cut it open, cleaned it out, put new bushings in it, but when I got it installed, you're supposed to have about 1/8 of an inch when you pull the converter out to mate it to the flywheel, or flex plate, I should say. And mine had a 3/8 gap. So I ordered these. These are a 1/4 inch thick. You see 0.250. And so you take 3/8 and take out 1/4, you've got 1/8 of an inch. And I'll show you that under the truck. I've got some of my sensors put in. I ordered this kit that had the adapters that goes to the LS for your temperature, water temp, oil temp, and then it comes with this one. If you've seen my last video where I primed the engine using a pump-up sprayer. So that's some of the things I got done. Got my shifter in, so let's go take a look, and I'll show you guys. I also painted my valve covers, and I'll show you what I used to strip them. It's very, very handy. So as you can see, if I back up here, you can see those first three are straight, and that one's a little angled. But it's not too bad. And you can see that piece I was referring to over there on the workbench right here. That's the part I welded on, and I drilled a hole here. I could have straightened it up and moved it over, but then I'd have been interfering with this bolt, and it would have been a lot more work. And I'm ready to get this truck done. The spark plug wires I'm going to be using are these Taylor 10.4 millimeter 409 series. They have the 45-degree angle boot. And if I put one on for you and show you how it fits, these are some of the questions I tried to get answered when I was starting this build. And you have to watch 10,000 videos to find all this information. So I'm trying to put it all in mind. So if you're a subscriber, you can, or you're a viewer, either one, you get to see all this. But with these Hooker Blackheart manifolds, you can see that you've got clearance all around. So that's what I like about those. I did paint my valve covers red to match the truck. It's just a junkyard engine, but I wanted it to look nice anyway. And I wanted to show you guys, I went down to my local Dollar General store and I picked up a gallon of this LA's Totally Awesome degreaser, and as well as this pan here. It is a a full-size steam pan, so your valve covers will fit in here, and I just poured this gallon in here, soaked them. And I'll pop some pictures up right now of that. That first picture I'm showing right now is just, I had them in there for a few minutes, and I thought, you know what, the viewers would love to see this, because with this LA's Totally Awesome, I did not even scrub them. And now I'll post up the pictures of after I took them out, hosed them off, and that's what they look like. I didn't scrub them with a brush. Basically all I did after I did this was washed them off with soap and water, cleaned them with brake clean, and I sprayed them with the Rust-Oleum paint. So now let's get back over here to the truck. We'll go up under the truck and I'll show you the torque converter. And there was a mistake that I did make on my shifter, and I'll show it to you to keep you guys from running into it. But basically, when we roll up under the truck, you can see my spacer right there. Now I'll post a picture right here before we look at this, and you can see I've got approximately 3/8 of an inch gap. Okay, I'll take the picture down. Now that, when your torque converter is all the way up in the transmission, you want ideally an 1/8 of an inch to 3/16. So most people show you how to measure it. You stick a drill bit in here, 3/16 drill bit or an 1/8 inch, and that gives you a measurement. Mine was actually 3/8. Again, I put a 1/4 inch spacer. 3/8 minus a 1/4 is an 1/8 of an inch. So I got that in. And then the mistake I made is when I drilled the hole for my cable. So let me get the light up here. If you can see, way up in the top up there, you see that black plug right there where my flashlight's pointing? I drilled my hole in the last S10, the V8 S10 I built. It was fine because I did not have this FTI case shield. Well, when I drilled that hole right there, my shifter cable would hit this, and it was putting it at a very bad angle, very bad bend in the cable. It would work, but I moved over 6 inches, and I drilled another hole, and I came down right beside the case, and it gives me a good bend, goes all the way around the truck, and hooks up on the driver's side like it should. Very nice radius bend instead of a very tight bend. I'll use that hole up there. It won't go to waste. When I put my transmission cooler in, I'll use it for the thermostat and for the temperature gauge when we get to that point. So with all that, I'll show you what I'm doing in the next upcoming videos. Oh, almost forgot. Let me show you my shifter. I did get the B&M shifter installed, and I'll show you what the cable looks like. That's the main thing I wanted to show you, how it goes down the side of the transmission tunnel, getting above the shifter view. It doesn't look too bad, I don't think. You can let me know in the comments what you guys think, but I think it turned out okay. I also moved away from the 2 buttons on the shifter handle. I want to go with just a flat one right now. I may put this back on later, but as for now, I just made me one. I'll show you a picture right here. I cut it out, sanded it down, painted it, and as you can see, it turned out pretty well. It doesn't say B&M on it. It's actually a DTP. So the other things we've been working on, or are going to work on the next upcoming videos. A friend of mine gave me some aluminum. I'm going to make me some aluminum angles, kind of like what it'll look like this framing square. I'll have me a 90, and then I don't know if it'll be a 45, but I'll make 2 of them, and I'm going to mount this Derale transmission cooler, remote transmission cooler on there. I'm sure you guys have seen these before. So I have been over here practicing my spool gun welding. As you can see, be easy on me, guys. Don't beat me up too bad. I'm practicing. I can weld steel, but this aluminum is a different animal when it comes to welding. I wished I had a TIG machine, but I don't, so this is the best I can do. And you know what? You can always take a sander and sand it down. So only other things I've been doing quickly, I did put my steam port vent in, or steam kit, steam tubing. I did bend this a little bit. I heated it up and bent it with a I put a socket under here and bent it because I'm using the TBSS intake, and this was pointing more like a 45, and it was going to be hard to route hoses and stuff. So this will give me a straight shot. I'm actually going to route it into the radiator hose. I got my oil temperature sending unit put in. And the next upcoming video, other than the Derale transmission cooler, is we are going to get this intake ready to go on, because I'm hoping by Christmas to have this thing running and driving. So I did bite the bullet. Don't beat me up too bad about this either, but I went to Amazon. I went back and forth with a FI Tech or Phi Tech, however you say it, throttle body, and I opted for one of these Amazonian throttle bodies, 92 millimeter. So what I'm going to do in the next video, I'm going to swap out. I heard these were terrible, the sensors that come on here. I'm going to put my stock sensors on it, and then this is a, I believe it's a 76 that these come with, 76 or 78. So the inside port on this TBSS intake is going to be much smaller. So I'm going to put this on, open the butterfly, trace it out, and I'm going to port this intake to match this opening here so we don't restrict airflow going into the intake. And what I was going to show you is that steam port kit, that thing was pointing up almost at the bottom of this, so I bent it over so I can run me a piece of rubber tubing around back into my water. So that's what we've been up to, and that's what we're going to do. As always, guys, thanks for stopping into the channel. If you like what's coming up in the future content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. Throw me some likes if you like this kind of content. And as always, all the parts that I mentioned, the spacers, the brackets, the coil brackets, the part numbers will be in the description box below. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I appreciate you, and we'll catch you in the next episode.